Hello. What's up? Just gonna stream for a few hours of Legacy. Have to finish the league with this mediocre deck, I think. Who is CBR? I think this guy plays Grixis Delver. Wow. Yeah, this deck. I guess I keep... Playing Friedman blue-black control. And just push here. If I get dazed, I get dazed, whatever. Waffle Stories 1. The plan is to go to Vegas regardless, but honestly, there's a small chance I can't go because of work-related things, which is gonna bum me. If I get stifled here, it's gonna suck, but whatever. Can't do anything about that. Yeah, work sucks. Well, this is going quite poorly. I don't know Waffle Stories 1. I think I'm just gonna kill Pyromancer. What's up, Duckamoy? Happy Memorial Day, too. Probably super dead this game, unfortunately. Do I have a Deluge in my main? Can't remember right now. I'm gonna brainstorm first. Everything's bad here. I might need the... This is not going to do anything, I think. No Deluge in my main deck. So I'm probably just going to die here, which sucks. Not sure what I'm looking for, but it's not those cards. Like, I'm getting really crushed here. Oh boy. I'm at 5 now? What does that do? No, I just die. It sucks. Attack with creeping tar pit. Man, that stifle on our fetch was pretty brutal as well. It's actually kind of bad. I accept. So we can get tropical off this one. What's up, Hyperion? Yeah, I just got a haircut. Do I waste him? Just gonna Thoughtseize, I think. Whoops, not Fatal Push, Thoughtseize. That's cool, H-Chack 21. Okay, what does our opponent have? No update package. Death Right, Force, Ponder, Parablast, Strand, Wasteland. I think I'm just gonna take Ponder, honestly. Right. Wasteland used. If you Power Blast, I'm fine with this. I think Volcanic is like the worst land to Wasteland versus that deck. Strand, that's right. So the reason Volcanic is the worst one to Wasteland is that they have 3 Volcanics, 2 Seas. Sure hope I draw like spells soon. That's a spell. Those are also very good spells. Don't think I need that one. This will probably end the game pretty quickly. Okay. That's also a good draw. Okay. Hello, Twirl. Some combination of cards like Standstill. Sometimes that happens. Two 1/1 Delvers. What's up, Chris? Do I even cast this? Should I like show my opponent this? I'm not going to. I'm gonna just attack. I mean, Dokomoy, he stifled and wastelanded me out of game 1. I delved away a push. That was really bad. That was like unbelievably bad to do that. What can I do instead though? If I activate, he stifles. So I think I'm just gonna attack, force the trump block. I'm gonna play Snapcaster, attempt to target my Ponder. There's a good chance this gets stifled, but I'm okay with it. If I snap Thoughtseize and he drew a bolt, if he has 2 bolts, that gets me killed. Ooh, I cast this in my combat step by accident. Fortunately, that's fine. Ooh, those are good. Go like that. I'll just brutality my opponent next turn. 2/2 bears. I will probably play lands after this. Jeez. Two modes. 3 modes? 3 modes? Nah, 2 modes. I assume with a username like 22 bears, you are the person I'm thinking of. No changes. Although, explosives is kind of bad versus stifle, so maybe I'll just take that out. Am I winning? It's game 3 versus Grixis Delver. It's a one-lander with Ponder. I think I'm supposed to keep, but things could go south. Alright. Sucks. I'm gonna try to be patient and outwait the stifle, but there's a lot of times that like that's just not possible, even though I have more lands in my deck. I'm gonna just discard instead. Maybe I wasn't supposed to play around Stifle, but it just felt like he had it because he just did nothing on turn 1. Probably getting stifled out here. The reason I do it then is so he doesn't get token from Pyromancer. Gonna try to cut him off black. Yeah. Oh, that was unsuccessful. Alright, I actually just can't win anymore. I think. Alright. Well, I'm pretty sure this deck is not good. Like, 85% sure of it. I mean, I promised I would give it a fair try. I think after this league, that is enough of a fair try. Oh boy. Oh boy. Little rank 1, 2, 3. I went 6-3 to get 37th for no cash. So I went 6-3, 6-3. You know, is what it is, but Furion 1, I might actually believe you by this point, but I'm so off playing this sort of strategy after this league, I think. Yeah, I might have played a little bit aggressively with Bitter Blossoms. Inquisition. Okay. Takes Ponder or Scour. Ponder goes. Alright. Gui. Huh. Swamp. So it's like some sort of him, smallpox, thingamabob deck. Guess I have to, yeah, I have to force. Kinda sucks. No, I think the company deck is not good for Shadow, Fine Gersh. Like, I know that sounds weird, but I really do believe that it's not good versus Shadow. I'm gonna see if my opponent has a him in their hand. Push Urborg. Okay. Ugh, that's gross. Alright. Well. Main phase. Scour myself. Because if I draw Angler, I just want to cast it. Sort of like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wasteland. You can wasteland me. Yeah, Pox is... Oh, that's a good point. Also, my opponent did not kill the Triline either, Voltage. So... Yeah, I cast my thing off Opulent Palace, and my opponent also did not kill my Opulent Palace. Ooh, that's okay. I just hope my opponent doesn't top deck Liliana for 2 more turns. Oh, why did I say anything? This is brutal. Alright. Yeah, stop calling shots. Oh boy. Ob Nixilis reignited? Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm gonna discard Spell Snare. I'm gonna hope to top deck Jace. So, I'll give you a hint, guys. My deck is actually only blue-black in game 1. Look, all my spells are blue and black. The only reason to have green is Deathrite. It's the card from Shadows over Eldritch Moon. It's supposed to be a Madness Enabler in that format. Ooh, that's pretty okay. So I can snap. Yeah, it's a swamp too. Sinkhole. Float of blue. Alright, I think it's fine if my opponent just -2s here. Playing Friedman blue-black currently, and then I'll probably play a few matches with lands until I get tired. These are, I don't actually know offhand. These are euros? Okay. Well, this is going okay for me because Tarpit's going to kill Liliana. Purple set, euro. It's just a promo probably, yeah. Interesting. I'll discard that. Wasteland. That's kind of brutal. Shock you. This is very, very something. I'm not sure what. The reason I'm doing all of this is because I think there's a very good chance that my opponent could top deck him at any point. Right, that can go. This is embarrassing that I'm going to very easily lose this game. Though, I kind of think I've been outdrawn by a significant amount. What is going on? Why? Why, God? Alright, well... I don't like saying that I got unlucky, but I think I am getting sort of unlucky here. I don't think my opponent's going to -6. That doesn't make any sense. Why does opponent have Pooted Delta in their deck? Okay, alright, we're done here. Can't beat that Crucible. My deck is so poorly set up for this. Like, unbelievably badly set up, I think. No, I do not believe opponent broke Legacy. Yeah, we need Jace. Jace is the best card for decks like these in general, but you don't always draw and resolve Jace. Not calling the perfect shots. I don't think Surgical is particularly good. Like, it's going to be an attrition war, and this is so bad in an attrition war. Gonna keep. I can play Deathrite off Swamp, which is pretty good. Man. I'm not gonna wasteland my opponent because I think our lands are more valuable. Tomb of Arami. Alright. This card is Ancient Tech. So, I think we are going to lose this game if I don't draw something. Yeah, Tomb plus Urborg. A Crocus to play around Tomb. Definitely getting Liliana'd. Yep. What's up, Goblip guy? I I think I'm gonna flash in Snapcaster, as like terrible as that seems. Nether Spirit? Oh my god. This is a disaster. Maybe I do wasteland my opponent now. Can't really beat Tomb at the moment. So I'll kill that one. Need surgical? Yeah, I suppose. I think I'm so dead. It's kind of unbelievable how dead I am. Oh, I should have tapped Swamp. Whatever. I'm so off this game. The tilt is real because, I mean, this is... Alright. Like, I can't actually even beat Nether Spirit. Itai, if you're gonna continue trolling, I might ban you. Oh, I enjoy playing against that deck as lands. Let's see, what is the correct list? Where is my moto? Oh, that's what I was gonna do. I don't think Surgical is a good idea versus that deck. I think what is likely to happen if you leave Surgical in is it gets discarded and ends up doing nothing. Yeah, it was literally all of our cards, but whatever. We can't do anything about that. Real deck now. Yep. I only have 35. I don't think I'm going to keep a one-lander with this deck most likely. You have a question for me? Lord of the Pit? What is it? By the way, thanks for the follow, everyone. I cannot tell the difference between Woodstock and the other Beagle Scouts. Where are all of the opponents? We have an opponent with lands. Lands versus something. This is a keep. So what is the plan with this hand? Death and taxes, most likely. This hand is pretty good versus them. If I knew it was D&T, I would probably just crop rotate to get a Grove immediately and play Loam. So I'm actually going to do that. It's kind of cheaty face, but whatever. Nah, that feature is fine. Yoshi Pones. Like I said, there's a small chance I can't play the Legacy portion of Vegas, which would make me sad. My lifetime win rate with lands versus Sneak and Show, I would guess it's like 33%, which is not very good, but that's not a good matchup, so. Flooded Strand. This is maybe not taxes. Oh, interesting. Well then. Welcome to Punishing Fireville. Yeah, it's meat hooks. What's up, Bara? Thought this guy was Death and Taxes, so I immediately just crop rotated on turn 1 for a Grove. And it turns out my opponent is just Slivers instead. Ooh, my opponent's Brainstorm locked. I'll play Wasteland. Is this the Sliver guy who streams? The people on the Legacy Reddit can't count to 8? Yes, I can believe that. Oh, this guy streams Hearthstone, not Magic? Well, I believe he's full-blown dead. Yeah, P-Fire him too. Don't seem to be drawing or dredging. Why would you discard the only sliver that seems good here? I would guess my opponent has multiple crystalline slivers in their hand. I should have done something. Whoops. I should have at least p-fired my opponent once or twice. I was just clicking too fast. Waste my opponent first. Yeah, I think lands is pretty good right now. Discard one wasteland. So my opponent is a professional Hearthstone streamer? Okay, well that's bad. Dredge. Ooh, a stage. Okay. Just gonna waste my opponent now. Mazes are completely worthless now, so I'm gonna just discard them. Brainstorm. I wonder is you. Yes, we finished our Blue Block Misery. I did not win any games with that deck. Alright. Opponent is like terrible slivers. Oh, like hedge, I guess, but it doesn't really matter what I do. This is likely not to be good. I can probably side out. Yeah. Okay. I'm fine with Amaz getting an invite. I have personally had negative experiences with Reynod myself. So those are my thoughts currently. I'm not siding in Caracas for Hive Lord. That sounds insanely dumb. Yeah, Reynod is very rich, apparently. This is an acceptable hand. I'm not gonna cast Gamble yet. I don't need what I don't know what I need yet. If I get Search Gold, whatever. I think I'm fine. This Tabernacle is probably going to be very upsetting for my opponent, if I had to guess. I'll discard one port. What's up, Goose27659? Raynaud's real name is Andrew Yannick. I can still grip it, I guess. I guess I'll grip it this turn. Alright, so what are the ways we can lose? I'm just not going to cast Gamble until next turn, so I can get a cycling land. It was a sealed deck. Alright, nice. Two bears. Last turn I played Wasteland to kill his land instead of gripping. I mean, our opponent died when they didn't hit land drops. So I can gamble for an accelerant. I'm going to keep. I'm going to gamble for mana bond, I guess. Damn, that sucks. I have one fetchable land left, so I actually have two fetchable lands left, but I think my opponent's some sort of like blue-white Miracles-esque control deck. Oh. Interesting. Alright. Play M. Carver, you can gamble for acceleration in that hand, so I kept it. Interesting, Underground Sea. It's very problematic. I'm gonna let my opponent basically tie up all of their mana with this thing. Yeah, those two basics do not belong together. So my opponent's like Deathblade-ish, it looks like. Huh. Opponent attacked me. If I get... kind of need a maze. Alright, well, those are not really that helpful. Could waste the black source, then loam those 3 back. Yeah. Figured it out, winner. I'm probably gonna die, which is sad. Because I haven't drawn a maze or a P-Fire. That's bad. That gets another black source to eat my loam. Or not. That seems like a play I would not recommend for my opponent. Alright, we found Punching Fire at least. Some modern decks are playing Reduced to Rubble? That's kind of awesome, actually. I don't know, Itai. Really don't know. Yeah, we lost because the gamble made us discard Mana Bond, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. P-Fire, return P-Fire. So I can kill the drum token if my opponent has nothing. P-Fire, return P-Fire. Yep, see you 2/2 bears. Discarding port. Port doesn't do much. How could this ever fail? Opponent has Counterspell in their like 7,000 color deck. That was unfortunate. Let's see, what else can we take out? Maybe the third maze, because they often have true names, like 1,000 true names. Chasm seems bad. They have a true name. Sometimes you need the Chasm Walk in the late game to get around true name. J-Tron, yes. However, there's a small chance I can't play the tournament because of work-related things. Yeah, I keep. Adam, I might just go for the legacy portion. Or the modern portion then. Sorry. We have to see what happens with work. Do I loam? Or do I P-fire? I think I'm just gonna P-fire first, actually. Tezzerator, I would probably play a Shadow variant. I think Shadow is very good. I played Jun Splash Blue Shadow. Grix's Shadow I think is pretty good too, though, so. Waste, stage. Curses. Foiled again. I don't know anything about your list, Arhovis. I saw that you did well and you lost your read, I guess? But many mighty wizards have lost your read, Duke, so I would not worry about that too much. If you are not going to practice with Grixis Shadow, you should not play it. No. Don't think I dredge here. Yeah, Grixis Shadow is like a Snapcaster deck, essentially. I think I just have to grip the skull this turn to not take 1,000 damage. Yes. Yeah, something like that, Adam. Am I getting true named here? Probably getting true named. Oh. Wonder what this gets. Sort of Furnace. Alright, very well. Ooh, that's a nice one to dredge into. I think I'm just going to play Tabernacle this turn, actually. Waste, Grove, Waste. I'm going to play Tabernacle this turn, though. No Boil for this matchup. That is funny, though. Ancient Grudge, pretty good here. Yeah, I played Boil before, but that's because things looked very different. Tower of the Magistrate would be good versus my opponent's deck. Hyperion, that's the case until they put all of their equipment onto True Name Nemesis. I see, no attacks. It's interesting. I really want to draw an exploration instead, so I'm not going to dredge. I can just port my opponent after their trigger resolves. Really need to draw an exploration or a mana bond or something. I think I sided out mana bond, so I need to draw Explo or gamble for exploration. Great. The problem is Grove is not good versus this plan. So basically need to draw an exploration still. Alright. That's good. Waste. If I waste him twice, I take 4. Trying to figure out. Yeah, this plan's fine actually. Do I even port my opponent? I don't think so. I'm gonna just copy my port. I only have 1 Ghost Quarter in my deck currently. You're welcome, Balazine. So I could buy time with Chasm. Or I could just play one of each of these. I think that's fine. So basically, I think I am safe to go to like 1 life versus my opponent, but I'm only going to return 1 Punching Fire. No. No. did I like? Uh, so the Ghost Quarter thing I think was only really a fad. All right, nice. That's very good. Stage depths. Port planes. So Rashadan Port is like 100 ticks on Magic Online. That doesn't mean anything. I think Port is a better card in your worst matchups, so that's the reason to play it. Whereas Ghost Quarter is good in your good matchups already. Like, if you want to win the tournament, you have to... Alright, so amusing synergy, you don't have to pay for here. Also, if you want to win a tournament, you're going to have to win your bad matchups. So... I don't think it's that awkward, Adam. We can just return Punching Fire. Or my opponent can just Swords my guy. Kill that. Yeah, the Swords plan seems like what you really don't want to be doing that, I think. Swords is giving up, yes. I'm just gonna jam the stage repeatedly versus my opponent. Like, if my opponent makes that play, it's very clear that they don't have an understanding of what's actually supposed to happen. Yeah, do this every turn until you die. Who's that person in my closet? There's no one in my closet. It's just like... Those are a bunch of binders, Chris. Opinions on Ancient Tomb? I like it in my sideboard. It's good with the, like, disruption pieces. Alright. I kind of want the third grip based on how that game went. Yeah, I really did not know what Chris was actually talking about for a second. Actually, screw the third grip. I don't want it. I will let Yoshi Pones answer questions on a learn. Meanwhile, I think I'm going to mulligan this hand because it doesn't actually do anything. I'll keep. No sale. Christ. All right. Time to try to, like, I don't know, annoy my opponent for long enough until he doesn't want to play anymore. Nice Bara. It's very nice, actually. Like that. Then port the island. Do I fetch Sheltered Thicket? Is there like... if I draw it, what would I do with it? Yeah, I fetch it. Yes, tower would be insane in this spot, but, you know, you can't have it all. Thank you, Jabberwocky. To be fair, my haircut person said they thought I was trying to cut it too short, but it's getting really hot here. I live in a suburb of Washington, D.C. Goose 27659. Really wish I drew a Punching Fire. I'm probably drawing Punching Fire next turn after it's too late. Oh, that's much better for me, actually. Okay. It's not what I wanted to draw at all. Not gonna play this one because I need to protect it from Wasteland. These Deathblade decks sometimes play Wasteland in them, so... If he floats, I'm going to pass to draw and then port the other one. Yeah, my opponent did not equip, which seems kind of weird. But, like, I'm probably going to lose to this Batter Skull. Alright, we tap that one, and then F6. No, I think the Dark Diff hard mode is not even going to be close to be good enough this game. Okay, that's actually good. The question is, what is my opponent going to do? I can only port once. Well, the problem is my opponent has force. It's obviously not good. But the other problem is if I get plowed, I'm actually very likely to lose the game, but I don't think I can play around it. So I think I'm supposed to port once during the upkeep and hope they go to equip. Tap like that. I don't think Tabernacle is actually good enough there. I'm trying to bait my opponent into equipping. Okay. Sack this one. No, I think we have to just make 2020. Oh, I guess I could get Maze. No, I'm actually just gonna get Maze. That's a good point. It's actually pretty good. Making the 2020 is actually very likely to lose because of Batter Skull Sword. What's going on? Wow, my opponent left in GT in this matchup? That seems bizarre. Well, Chris, that's assuming they don't have a plow. I'm just assuming they have a plow based on how this game played out. I mean, we sort of had the fear, but I also think we have so many like reasonably good draws in our deck that it's okay to sort of play scared for a bit. Yeah, that was my reasoning too, Malamujo. Like, it just feels like they have plow. Like, obviously that's not scientific whatsoever, but based on how this game played out, this guy's deck has tons of blanks. I maze that one. I mean, Ors fan, the plan is to draw Punching Fire. Really. No, Malamujo is Malamujo. I mean, just siding with me is not a good way to learn. What does Surgical do here? Very funny, Chris. Very funny. Whoops. I am in a real pickle here, Daryl. Interesting. I don't even really care about this. Snapcaster. Okay. Okay. This seems like a very weird plan. I am so confused. I think I should wait one turn gamble. I'm gonna wait one turn gamble. I mean, that's fine. I mean, I believe two of the cards in my opponent's hand are Surgical and Plow. Gamble for P-Fire is correct. I'm just waiting one turn to do it. Please let me discard Exploration. Nice. So the problem is, if my opponent has surgical, I can't rebuy my P-Fire for a while. But I think I still have to kill this so I don't take 2 more damage. This is... Alright. I have a bunch of groves left. Yeah, True Name is a live draw for my opponent, but I can't do much about that. They chose not to shuffle. That's a terrible sign now. Weird. Why do they equip now? The GT represents a bunch of damage next turn, so... Alright, I have to cast this. They didn't shuffle because they finally found the plow. Yeah, that could be the case. Okay. Well, I don't think he has another surgical, so I'm going to just return Punching Fire. Yeah, I don't know what my opponent's doing, really. Kind of feels like they're doing things at random and hoping I die. They can beat the chasm by surgicaling my so I can return 1. I'm gonna lose because I didn't play the Sheltered Thicket last turn, because I didn't think it would be relevant. So I need to cycle into Mazavith, actually, is what has to happen here. Does this do anything? No, it doesn't do anything. Oh, that kind of sucked. Alright, I'm gonna play one more match. But that was something, alright. Yeah, I might have punted by not playing it, but I thought I wanted to keep the Sheltered Thicket to play around Surgical and Loam. And then instead we died. I still believe playing around Source of Plowshares was correct because we're down way too many resources if we don't. Lewis CBR again. Alright, let's beat him this time. Yep, Grixis Delver. I actually want to draw another like red-green source. Otherwise, that's like one of the ways you can lose to that deck is by getting all of your red-green sources killed. Actually, think I might just wasteland my opponent here. Maybe not. Alright, screw it. Taste it. I didn't even have a colored source and my opponent conceded. It's pretty great. People concede way too fast, I think. I don't understand why people tilt off so easily. But, you know, it is what it is. He's Delver. I have no acceleration, but I have a Gamble and a P-Fire. Okay. This is game 2. I think I'll just Punching Fire in response and see what my opponent does. Okay. I'm okay with this, actually. You can daze this if you want. Interesting. Gonna gamble for exploration, I think. Yeah, I don't know why my opponent left in bolts. I expected my thing to be safe, but whatever. In this matchup, I don't think I would, but, you know. No, people love to leave in force versus deck too, so I really just have no idea what he's doing. I'm gonna gamble for Tranquil Thicket, I think. I think he definitely left in days. I'm gonna crop rotate for Maze during his upkeep. Okay. There are so many bad cards in the matchup that he probably just leaves in days. So Glacial Chasm is like the best card versus that, but we're definitely on a fast clock now. Yeah, I'll cycle that one. If he has a bolt, I die, but whatever. Vortex is good versus P-Fire, but bad versus Glacial Chasm. So, take it as you will. Alright, so I need to hit Chasm. Nice. Very nice. I fucked up. I'm not supposed to tap stage there, but let's hope it doesn't cost me. Tapping stage was loose, yes. Ancient Grudge, alright. Nap. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to look for another exploration effect. but obviously there's a lot of ways this can just go bad. That's why I'm getting the Tranquil Thicket every rotation, because if I hit a thicket, it's much better for me. Fuck me. Oh god. Chasm. Grove. Thicket. He could have used Deathrite to eat the chasm. Yeah. I think I'm still gonna die if he realizes it this turn, unfortunately, but you know, I can't do shit about it by this point. Yeah, be quiet and hope he doesn't notice. Alright, we died. I can't Lonely Sandbar because I had to play land to cast Loam. If I had recurred Barbering the previous turn, I actually would have won, which is kind of sick. I messed up that game, I think. I just didn't expect my opponent to let me actually loam back the chasm. This is a keep. I already played a land that turn, yeah. I could not play a land, guys, because I messed up. Crop rotate does nothing. Alright, you got a pithing needle. I think this plan is not good in general. Alright. I can crop rotate this away if necessary. Alright, my opponent got me, I guess. I think I just keep this in hand for now. Entomb for a loam. Get thicket, grove, waste. Doesn't really matter what I do, I think. I guess I play Maze. Alright, nice. Alright, guys. I think I'm out for now. It's getting hot here and I have to work tomorrow because it's Memorial Day is finally ended. But thanks for watching, and here's some Rich Shay.